February 22nd, we'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we've approved the minutes from the February 8th meeting and entertain a motion to that.
I will make a motion to approve the February 8th minutes as submitted.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
We've approved accounts payable vouchers. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I will second that.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
And then we've approved the payroll docket. I'll entertain a motion on that.
Motion to approve payroll docket as submitted.
I second that.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Megan, sorry, we weren't trying to hold you off. We thought we get more reimbursement for child support if we do them separately. So we said, all right, we'll do them separately.
Today I wanted to discuss the RAVE text program that we have for the county where you can text trash to get trash updates and things like
You're gonna
that.
tie this to taxes, I think that.
I want to add it to text.
All right, I've had someone who's contacted me and they're very much in favor of that.
I've been racking my brain, how to get this information out to people since we do not bill a fall statement. And I had a couple quotes for mailing like postcards, and that was over $6,000 in the fall, and I just couldn't justify spending that much money. So with the new text system, we have a year to test it out, and then after that, we would discuss prices, prorating it into our plan that we already have, but it would be $2,000 for this year to test it and see how well it takes, and if we get a substantial amount of subscribers or things like that. So I did not have this budgeted for this year. But if it does do well, then I would definitely go forward for next year and try to get a line item in our budget. But I think I can scrounge and move some money around and cover this $2,000. And then also if it is approved, I'm working with our tax bill printers. We're in the process, the whole swing of getting the tax bills ready to go out the first week of April. We have a little slip for $580 some that we can add into every single tax bill that people would get this information. So over 20,000 tax bills would have this. So that way we would reach a lot of people that way.
I mean, well, we don't need to know how many forget to pay their taxes, but.
Oh, we could also use this for getting information about anything tax related. We could also work hand in hand with auditors' deductions if we wanted to piggyback some things onto their tax sales. We could utilize this on a monthly basis and just let the people know what's going on and having that direct communication to their cell phones.
They probably pay more attention to this than they would a postcard.
Mhm.
For sure.
Postcard, they were like, how much did you pay on doing that?
Yeah.
That would be the first-
The postcards wouldn't have, even the text wouldn't have the direct information, but it would just be a reminder and it would reach those people. It wouldn't be lost in the mail and have those issues, so.
I make a motion, we try the 1-year trial for the RAVE contract for text alerts.
I second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Good idea, thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Good
your
idea.
time.
Bobby?
Oh,
Hello.
all right, we had some bid openings today. This is for the CCMG fundings. We were awarded this in 2023. It was $1 million max. We're 75-25 for Jefferson County's the 25%, and NDOT will be paying the 75% on the grant. We had 7 contractors submit bids. The first one was Row Asphalt at $1,783,325.72. 1783. I was gonna come back.
No, I'm just, how much
72
cent?
cents.
72 cents?
Yep. 72.
I want 72 cents worth of asphalt.
It's in there somewhere. 325.72. Next one was Flynn Brothers out of Louisville, Kentucky. $1,245,654.33. 1,245,654.33. Temple and Temple out of Salem, Indiana was $1,355,142.25. 1,355,142.25. Libs Paving out of Floyd Knobs, Indiana. $1,510,232.70. 1,510,232.70. Mac Construction out of New Albany. 1,289,700. There's your nice round.
There we go. He wins it up just.
Just on that print.
.00. That was the only round number that I've got.
Oh, disappointing.
Dave O'Meara Contractor, North Vernon, $1,110,627.81. 1,110,627.81. And All Star Paving out of Seymour, Indiana, $1,138,938.05. 1,138,938.05. Yeah, down to the nickel.
I love these estimating programs, and I'm gonna keep it in there too, just in case.
The engineer's estimate was $1,639,223.40. 1,639.
He needs to get a light.
223.4. With that, the Dave O'Meara Contractor was the lowest bid. All their information checked out. They had the bid bond, the list of subcontractors, list of suppliers, project references, evidence of authority, bidder qualifications, Form 96, financial statement, and the addendum number 1 was all theirs. With all that being said, if we could award that to Dave O'Meara Contracting for $1,110,627.81. We'll get this contract taken care of so we can get our money from NDOT.
I make a motion, we approve the Dave O'Meara contract for $1,110,627.81.
I'll second Ron's motion.
Any other discussion? I want to see the 81 cents. All those in favor, signify by aye. Aye.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always hoping it comes in just a little bit under that, but there, I had a couple of contractors and came in back to back, said, if somebody's lower than that, they can have it. So I said, that's exactly what the last guy said. So it sounds like we're gonna be really competitive here today. So it was very good.
I mean, really,
They're all pretty close.
yeah,
I mean, they really scrunched figures.
Yeah, they worked hard
Yeah.
for those. Outside of that, we've just been doing a lot of equipment prep and putting salt boxes on, taking them back off. Luckily, that little snow that we got didn't stick around very long, but it sounded like it was a little nasty for a little while in
Little
some
bit.
places, and other places in the county didn't get anything. That or it disappeared before we could get there, one way or the other. That's really all the updates I have for you guys. Who wants the magic pen? I just need 2 quick signatures. This one's for the notice of award. Yep.
right there it is.
Another spot here on the Form 96. Actually, I need all 3 of your signatures for that. Did you guys have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Carry on.
Sir, be careful.
Mike?
The health department.
I don't have it on here. do
Yeah,
you?
we restructured the.
Well, I'll let you do that.
You want to sit through 38 minutes worth?
What now?
I said, you want to sit through 38 minutes worth? or-
As I was saying, I'm glad to help you out here.
That's all.
This is a couple examples of the section corner identification. We actually have, believe it or not, it looks like somebody got shot on the pavement there, but it's actually, the red marking is where the actual section corner is. That's why it was, it's fairly expensive and Bill Pettit does our section corners for this.
People have to drive around that
Well,
once it gets put in there.
we just hope Bobby doesn't pave over it.
I might,
I will.
I've dug those section corners out before, and it's not fun.
It's not fun, but hopefully you'll see that red circle around there.
And just so you know, Bill did know I was digging those out, and he had marked those first.
Cool, very good. Well, we got some cooperation. That's a good thing. So that's what that MOU is for, and the invoice I think we've already submitted that for 13,000 for most of the second half of 2023, and then what it's gonna be doing this year. So we've got 25,000 in the budget, so we should be okay on that. So that's what that MOU is for. So if I can get your signature, gentlemen, on that.
Got to entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with William Pettit Land Surveyor for 2024 section corners.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. The other thing, one of the other hats I wear is the Americans with Disabilities Act Coordinator. And we've got some parking spaces that need to be repainted and restriped. But I don't want to do it if we're going to repave any parking lot. So I don't know where that sets. Bobby says that grant doesn't cover those. I don't understand that.
No.
That makes more sense. What are you gonna do?
Spend it.
Spend it, all right. But I didn't want to make you guys aware of that. And since I'm new to this whole thing, how do we go about doing that? Because I don't want to start striping stuff and have it come back. I did talk to the city and they've got some paving coming on and some striping coming on, and I gave you the name of the company. So they haven't got any bids yet on it. So I thought I'd take a look at that. If you guys have any recommendations, Bobby, if you've got recommendations on striping, we'll get some bids out on that. But I'm not sure how many spaces. I haven't really done an audit of those. But I know we got some that need to be remarked.
I'd find that out first.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, do you have, I mean, I think most of the paving companies do any of the, if we do any lining, they do it themselves, right? Do you know of
They
any?
may have subcontractors.
Do they have it?
To see, the only
Okay.
one I brought with me was O'Mara's paperwork to see who they may have down as a sub, but I can look at
Okay.
the others as well.
If she'll get me an account, I'll get a hold of the company that did the jail up there
Okay.
for the
Okay.
bar lanes and that way we can get some fairly, hopefully comparative bids and go from there.
Yep, that's good.
Anything on the park at JPG? Have you gone any further with that? Because I probably need to do something on the ADA on that, make sure it's accessible and that type of thing, on parking and things like that. I was up there at that lot, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about
Are the ADA plans in that? I would hope so, wouldn't you?
yeah, you mean for the campground? Or just the regular?
Campground and.
And the-
both.
Where the gazebo and stuff is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to send me a copy of those plans.
Yeah, I mean, still very preliminary.
Preliminary.
Yes, I mean, we haven't, that'd be a ways down, but, we can see if there's anything for the Kruger Lake. and stuff. There we go.
The plans are laying on top of her cabinet. If you want to look at them.
Yeah, a little one, but it doesn't have anything.
It's not real graphic in detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's the-
I'll wait to get a little more detail.
Okay.
The only other thing I've got is the sheriff's sales coming up at the end of March, I think it's March 28th. And we've got a property that we did a considerable amount of cleanup on. Almost $1,000 worth of cleanup on, and we need to get on that. bill, sheriff's sale. It's not on there now. And I think, Pat has got some legal fees that need to go on there, so we need to get that on there right now, and those aren't on there, so we need to make sure those are on there. I'm not sure how to do that either, so.
It would go on the tax bill, so whoever the new buyer is would be responsible for the fees.
Okay,
But you don't have the lien put on there yet.
I don't have the
So
lien on there yet, so. they
he
won't
needs to see Megan, right? That's where she told me.
No, the document's prepared, I believe it goes through the courts and then it's recorded in Molly's office. And then it comes to our office once it's recorded, and then we apply it to the taxes.
So Pat really needs to write something up on that and then get that into the court.
Yeah, and we had done that just recently with the property out in Deputy, I believe. So it would be the same process.
Same process?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll give it to Jane. And that, thank you for getting me on the roll.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Here's your paper. Got signatures on
Can't read them. Thank you, guys. And I will be happy with it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Who cares?
So next on the agenda is to reappoint Victoria Perry as a member of the Jefferson County Board of Tourism. It's for a year term. It will expire the 31st of December this year.
I'll make a motion. We reappoint Victoria Perry.
Yeah, second that.
And she has said she wants to. So, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. All right, Guess you don't have any updates, do you, Bobby? You gave us all yours.
No, that's all I had.
All right.
I'm working on the contact tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything, do you have anything else?
I can give you guys.
All right, Brandon. Brandon's ready.
So you may have experienced or heard, at 3 o'clock this morning, there was a nationwide cell phone carrier outage that began. It affected mainly AT&T, but also some Verizon and T-Mobile customers. Affected some, but not everybody. About 8 o'clock this morning, I reached out with Tune Digital to make sure 911 was operating unaffected, and we determined it was only a carrier issue. We monitored the systems throughout the day, make sure everything was working well. There were no issues. As of 1 o'clock today, most of the outages seem to be resolved. Also this week, IPSC, the Integrated Public Safety Commission, visited to help assess and develop a site trunking readiness plan. Overall, we fared really well, but they did leave us with a couple of suggestions. But other than that, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you for telling us what IPSC stands for. We love acronyms. Okay, Brian? you have anything?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Nothing too. Let's see. A lot of things going on, but nothing really finalized. Been working with the Laserfish people. We're still trying to figure out, the detail on this public portal, so I hope to have something to bring to you the next few weeks on that. The cost looks really affordable, but we just gotta figure out all the details and logistics of that. We're also working with,
Might wanna just explain to folks.
I'm sorry?
Just explain a little bit what that.
Okay, sorry.
this-
So public portal, it would be, you'd be adding a link or a new section to the county website that would go to our Laserfish repository where people could find their own marriage license, divorce decrees, whatever we put on there. They can, we can put all their ordinances, resolutions, things like that in there too. I know we got some of that, but it could be in there too. Really just, reduce some of the phone calls and traffic at the clerk's office and mine. I mean, we're getting, I don't know, I've probably got 4 just this week, marriage license requests, and I don't know how many they're getting over there, so.
Just
Yeah,
an
we make that
easier
more
way
of a
to.
self-service.
Sure.
People don't have to wait on us to get it to them. They can do it on weekends, evenings. They don't have to wait till we're around to retrieve the documents for them. And, yeah, so I'm digging into that. I'm gonna have to meet with, Tanya's phone to see what information we want to actually put on there, is I have to divide it, our repository up into the public side and the non-public side and figure out what we want to do and how fast. Kind of along with that, got a meeting tomorrow with them. I think there's a way we can speed up or start doing our scanning more efficiently. There's actually a tool it's included in our package, so there's no additional cost. We just got to figure out how to turn it on and start using it. So I think that might speed up some of the scanning so we can get moving along a little faster on that. Getting ready for Bee Challenge, starts March 4th, runs through April 3rd. Really just trying to figure out how it's gonna work. I got access to the data today, had to go through some licensing requests and all kinds of stuff. I got that. Attended a webinar last week, and fortunately today they posted the recordings of them, so I'm gonna go back and watch it again. Just trying to figure out how that's all gonna work. And then talked a little bit with Sarah and Renisha, how we're gonna get some awareness out, so maybe we can get the community helping us a little bit with that instead of us having to drive it all. So, but still, we're getting that all figured out. Got it. I'm still not sure how it's gonna work. There'll be a month of the Bee Challenge, a month of service provider rebuttal, and then they'll finalize it in June. So, yeah, we're gonna go through it, and then they get the chance to say, no, you're wrong. So,
We really have service there.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
According to our map.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's buried. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No
so
one can get to it, but it's buried.
if we could figure out how to get the word out, I got to figure out if we're gonna share the feed data. That's what I don't know, all the address data, where people can go in and look up and see if they're on there versus us trying to sort it out. If they really have service or not.
It's always funny,
It's
it's all internet stuff, and if they don't have it, well, they probably are not gonna
Yeah,
see it.
right.
The challenge it or not.
Well, it might be slower.
Well, that's true.
Well, that's it. It's not just unserved, it's underserved, you know. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
what we've
that's
got
true.
a lot of in the county, you know. They're calling served, fully served like 100, upload and 20 down, no, 100 download, and 20 up. I don't know if anybody's really getting that too many. Well, some. But anyway, that's a complicated process. We're trying to figure that out, and hopefully we can clean up some of those and get some of the underserved people taken care of. And ready, we're just waiting. But when it was 16th,
Yeah.
RDA submitted theirs and haven't heard anything since then.
Yeah.
I think so. It's gonna be April, I think, for the.
Well, I think that's when they know the end of the March, and then in April, the projects and
Yeah.
those will. go
Yeah, that's
forward, so.
Yeah. Okay, that's about it. Any questions on anything? Anything going on? All right.
Thanks for staying on
Thank
top
you.
of this. Thing. Do you have anything other than?
Yeah.
Okay, other than your 38-minute ordinance that we're.
Over there, I can just tell you from here, 'cause here we go. So we hired a part-time food safety inspector, so she's gonna be able to do look at establishments, evenings, weekends. She's worked for the health department before, so she kind of already knows, she already has her certificates and stuff. She maintained them, so she's gonna work with Caitlin for a little bit. Get her feet wet again, and then she'll be free to.
Create havoc in the county and.
Yeah. show
in the
them the
after
random
hours.
things, so.
No,
We have dental kits that were given to the health department through a grant, through the Give Kids a Smile. And we have bagged them up, and almost every school has them at this point. We have done them for every second grader in the county. We did that last year. It was donated by local dentists last year. This year we were able to get stuff provided to us from a grant. And we also have Gail Spalding on our board now. So Dr. Spalding has offered to work with a couple of the schools that have taken her up on it for some demonstrations for dental hygiene in some of the second grade classrooms. I probably have a lot more updates, but I did go to the State House today. Today was a public health day at the State House. So we got to hear from the State Health Commissioner, previous State Health Commissioners, and some various departments throughout the state of what they're doing with this new funding and some of the ideas that are out there, programs that they already had in place that they can help other departments maybe start if that was something that they were interested in. So it was really educational day. I went up there with Heather Hoy. She went with us, and we met Amanda Simeon from the Tobacco Cessation Coordinator with HCI. So
Stop at tobacco. Okay, we got some.
words today.
No,
It's been a
that's
long
okay.
day already. Other than that, I'm not really sure that I have any
Okay.
updates off the top of my head. But
Okay.
so, ready to talk about this?
No.
We can-
Not yet.
No?
No, not yet. A few other things. And then we'll-
Okay.
Yeah. Probably give people an opportunity to. If they want to. No, but you can say, listen to the new septic ordinance that will take until 38 minutes to, hear, but we're gonna have it read. Either you guys, anybody in the public have anything? You?
Yes, I went to a board meeting last night, not a board. Pam and I serve on the Southeastern Indiana Solid Waste District Board. Last night was their annual meeting, which we elected people. People who weren't there got on.
And then a good board, if
That's
you
how it
don't show
works,
up, you get.
But the assistant director gave a report that was kind of just zipped down through, so shredding is up a ton. They're working on a new website, redoing the website. I think we share it on our page quite often. They're hoping people will use it more. Batteries, it seems to be doing good. They collected a box of drugs in Scottsburg and Sharps in Scottsburg. The reuse store is now open, and the assistant director is over it now. And other things, they had some trouble with a couple of trucks and things like that. But I think one of the biggest things that we talked about last night was tires. Tires coming into these places, and it's getting to be unless you have a big tractor, they're getting to be a big problem. And people, so I think the solid waste district, Pam, last night, we talked about buying a shredder. So,
And that's been a topic
Yeah.
for all last year,
Mhm.
every meeting that we were at, every meeting.
Yeah,
It's a big issue,
sure is.
so.
I mean, you can reuse them like in playgrounds, but the ones with steel belts, that's another. So then you have another type of shredder, so they're anywhere from 115,000 to 500,000, and so Christie, the director's gonna be working on that, and she'll give us update at the next meeting, but I thought it's kind of one of the best kept secrets in Jefferson County. It's out at the proving ground. You can, on given days, you can take, electronic devices, refrigerators, tires on certain days, so many out there instead of throwing them on the side of the road. So I think it's a big advantage for our county to have it right here at Jefferson Proving Ground, but just wanted to give an update on, what they're doing. It's all a good program.
So right, because I had used to be on that board, and they used to grind them for playgrounds.
Right.
Do they still, I mean, there's not many tires that don't have
I know.
steel belts in them, so
That's the
They don't
big issue.
do that much anymore.
they don't do that much anymore. In my first go around with Dow Corning, we got involved with the cement industry, and they used to take tires into cement kilns. I don't know. I know there's been a lot of changes since then. I may look into that and see if that's an option. I mean, I would gotta believe they were paying to get the tires ground up for the playground, right? I mean, they had some fee associated with it.
Mhm.
I mean, the cement industry, they not only What a racket. They got tires, which when you burn tires, what happens? Oh, you get a lot of energy. You get steel, which the steel would get incorporated into their cement as it was made, so it was stronger than regular cement, because a little, like,
Fiberglass
yeah,
strands. Yeah.
just like little rebar in there. And then they charge you for it too. And so you're like, what a racket. Anyway, I still had a few contacts in that. I may reach out just to see if that's still a thing. Cause I mean, they're still gonna charge, but it will get rid of them.
And it's being experimented in blacktop, road use, so, yeah, there's some options out there,
Yeah.
it's just a problem,
Yeah, and it's not gonna go away, cause
yeah.
there's really not a whole lot to do with the tire when you're, well, people find things to do with the tires when they're finished with
Eagle
them.
Hollow.
Yeah, I know, that's what I
China
said.
Hill.
Yeah, Lee Hill,
Mhm.
yeah, Lomas Hill, yeah.
Yeah, anywhere they can.
Mhm. So anyway, watch the website for new updates and when you can take refrigerators, TVs, instead of throwing them on the side of the road, take them over there.
And that crew out there is very
Yeah.
receptive, good,
Yeah.
always very courteous
Yeah, good people.
that I've been out there.
Anything else?
No, that's it for me. Thanks, man.
So last month Pam came and presented a program with First Financial Bank. And, thought about it, looked over it, did have a talk with our attorney just in case, just wanted to make sure. No problem, so I think if we're in agreement, we'll. I don't know if we need to make a motion, we can make a motion, say that's okay. Support it. Let that happen, so be able to go in with the first work life performance checking setup, so. I think that would be good for folks.
Good option.
You okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, do we need a motion? Yeah, why
We could
not?
just for transparency.
Just to make sure we don't.
I make a motion to support First Financial Bank, First Work Life, which would be for our county employees. It gives them a break on banking and stuff. It's presented by.
Benefit.
My second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Okay. That's all I have. Just as a word of warning, we do have, as we mentioned, we have to have a reading of the new septic ordinance. It is 10 pages long. It will last, based on the recording that we have, 38 minutes. So you can stay and listen to it if you want. You can stay and listen to part of it. You may enjoy part of it. I don't know. You can leave if you want to. So, it's your option. It will be recorded. Yeah, so.
And also posted.
Yeah, so it's on, it's out there, but this will be the reading and it'll be recorded in the, Brandon.
There's your spirit of adventure.
So, all right, so thanks for coming.
Be careful going back, guys.
Oh, I know, I heard.
Barry, be careful. It's good to see you.
No. Heather, I will get with like each department just to let them know, like, we'll come like 2 by 2 and set up a time for each department to be available to let the team, employees know that we can be there for them. And explain what that is and the benefits to them, that it's $100 that they'll get after 90 days of direct deposits. So if anybody's willing to do that,
Okay.
so. Anyway, I was gonna listen, but I don't know. It's gonna be 38 minutes. So did you read through it and you know that it's 38 minutes?
We reported it.
Yep,
Oh, you reported it's 38 minutes.
there's actually 2 minutes left.
I'll listen to some of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to attend
How exciting
most
can a
every
septic
commissioner
be?
meeting. That is my goal this year. Try to have like transparency.
You got 2 so far, right?
I've got 2. This is number 2, but I mean, we're only in February.
Not that he's keeping track or anything. but-
So I don't have Kiwanis meetings on Thursday night every week, so I can pretty much, make it, so.
So does only one person read that, or can anybody read that?
Just those two.
It's recorded.
Oh, you're gonna play the recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna try to suffer.
Okay, okay.
No, it was paid for enough.
I
with two
I thought maybe we.
We're not gonna suffer through.
All this relay or something.
It's
Yeah,
her
okay.
damn golden, she should.
I know it, yeah.
Listen, I
You
was
got
gonna
out of
hit
it.
read aloud on Word. These two, they took it upon themselves to read it, which is
Just
way
speed it
better.
up.
You owe them. We owe them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We owe them all the time anyway, so.
Have at it.
All right, here goes.
Jefferson County On-Site Sewage System Ordinance 2024-002. This ordinance and all ordinances supplemental and amended hereto shall be known as the Jefferson County On-Site Sewage System Ordinance and may be cited as such and will be referred to herein as this ordinance. This ordinance will effectively repeal any recorded ordinance and any amendments thereto. The purpose of this ordinance is to provide minimum standards for the prevention and suspension of disease and health risk associated with the use of on-site sewage systems and to otherwise promote public safety, welfare, and protection of the environment. This ordinance regulates the location, installation, construction, maintenance, reconnection, replacement, and alteration and repair of all residential and commercial on-site sewage systems in Jefferson County, Indiana. It also provides for the administration, enforcement, and provisions contained herein and affixes penalty for violations. This ordinance incorporates by reference the Indiana Department of Health Rules 410 IAC 6-8.3 residential on-site sewage systems. Thereto following AIC 6-10.1 commercial on-site sewage systems. There following and Bulletin SE 11, the Sanitary Vault Privy 2021 edition. There following. Be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, State of Indiana, that Section A authority, the Jefferson County Health Department is hereby authorized to issue residential and commercial on-site sewage system permits, collect permit fees and penalties, perform inspections, hold hearings, order or otherwise compel correction of violations of this ordinance, and is otherwise authorized to perform all actions necessary for the administration and the enforcement of this ordinance. Section B, definitions. All definitions include the Indiana Department of Health Rules 410 IAC 6-8.3, there following, and 410 IAC 6-10.1, there following, are hereby incorporated into this ordinance. Supplementary to those definitions, this ordinance defines certified individual, means an individual that meets requirements of Section D of this ordinance. Construction new means construction of a new home, residential outbuilding, or commercial building where previously was no building. Rebuilding or remodeling an existing home or residential outbuilding where the footprint of a new home or outbuilding extends beyond the footprint of the previous structure. Or when a design daily flow of a new structure exceeds what was previously at this site. Best judgment shall be used for new construction. Construction, repair, and replacement means repair or replacement of residential on-site sewage system for the existing home or residential outbuilding, or the rebuilding or remodeling of an existing home or residential outbuilding on the same foundation as the previous home or outbuilding without an increase in the design daily flow of the project. In accordance with Rule 410 AIC 6.8.3, the best judgment of the Jefferson County Health Department shall be used when necessary and appropriate for the repair and replacement of the failing residential on-site sewage system. Designer, means the individual who designs, submits detailed on-site sewage system construction plans for Jefferson County Health Department for the review as part of the construction permit application. The spiral area, which means the area located immediately adjacent to the soil absorption field, where the water after treatment in the soil should be unimplied away from the soil absorption field in a divergent or linear manner used to protect and allow soil absorption field to accept more influent for treatment. Board of Health means the Board of Health appointed as specified in IC 16-20-2 and having jurisdiction in the Jefferson County, state of Indiana. Health Department, meaning the local health department in Jefferson County having jurisdiction over the installation, construction, maintenance, reconnection, replacement, alteration, and repair of residential on-site sewage systems specified in Indiana Code 16-20-1. Health Officer means the person appointed as specific in Indiana Code 16-20-2-16 or Health Officer's duly authorized representative as specified in Indiana Code 16-10-1-14. The health officer may conduct inspections and make a decision on enforcement action in Jefferson County, state of Indiana. Holding tank, meaning a septic tank or tanks, a combination of septic and dosing tanks, for which the outlet of the last tank in a series has been sealed off in order to prevent sewage or influent discharge from any tank. Installer means any individual who performs any work furtherance of construction, installation, replacement, alteration, or repair in any residential or commercial on-site sewage system in Jefferson County, state of Indiana. Involuntary means a need to modify or improve a dwelling, residential outbuilding, or a commercial building due to factors outside of the owner's control, such as destruction by wind, fire, flood, or any other natural disaster, or due to condemnation of a dwelling. Notice of violation means written notification of an ordinance, rule, or statute violation. On-site sewage system malfunction means residential or commercial on-site sewage system component that is not functioning in accordance with the ordinance per the manufacturer's requirements. Residential on-site sewage system malfunction does not have to meet the definition of a residential on-site sewage system failure. Malfunction can include, but is not limited to, one or more of the following: the backdrop of sewage into a upstream on-site sewage system component, the liquid level in the septic tank above the invert of the septic tank outlet, an outlet filter that is plugged sufficiently to cause backup in the septic tank, the liquid level in a dosing tank above the inverted of the dosing tank inlet, the liquid level in a treatment unit above the recommended by the manufacturer, the liquid level in a distribution box consistently above the invert of the outlets to a distribution box that does not provide equal distribution, structural failure of a septic tank, dosing tank, treatment unit, distribution box, or other required component, electrical failure on a float or transducer, an influent pump, an alarm, or other electrical components of an on-site system, or removal of an influent pump or system component if the pump or component was required in the original permit. Order derived from Indiana Code 4-21.5-1-9 means the Jefferson County Health Department action of particular applicability that determines the legal rights, duties, privileges, immunities, or other legal interests of one or more specific persons. The term includes a permit. Registered individual means a certified individual who registers with the Jefferson County Health Department. 16, service provider means an individual who meets the minimum requirements set by the Jefferson County Health Department for providing evaluation and maintenance of an on-site sewage system under the provisions of this ordinance. 17, soil boring means an excavation made by a soil auger, probe, or similar small diameter drilling equipment used to pull multiple shallow soil cores out of the ground, which are used for providing a description of soil horizon. 18, soil pit means an excavation that is at least 2 feet wide and sufficiently deep and long for the soil scientist to observe and describe the undisturbed soil profile. 19, temporary benchmark means any object whose elevation is assumed arbitrarily and is used as a point of reference until completion of the project. 20, voluntary means an owner's intentional or deliberate action to construct, modify, or improve a dwelling, residential outbuilding, or commercial building. Section C, construction permits for on-site sewage system. Number 1, where a sanitary sewer system is not available within 300 feet of the property line of a residential or commercial property, or the estimated cost of sewer construction or connection exceeds 150% of the estimated cost of an on-site sewer system, all persons owning, leasing, or otherwise occupying property shall comply with the requirements of Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 and the following 410 IAC 6-10.1 and the following and/or Bulletin SE 11 as applicable and the provisions of this ordinance for an on-site sewage system. 2, an on-site sewage system construction permit shall be obtained by a property owner or agent of the owner prior to the start of construction of a home, a residential outbuilding with plumbing, or a commercial facility. 3, the application for a construction permit issued by the Jefferson County Health Department shall include the following. A completed application form as provided by the Jefferson County Health Department. B, an on-site soil evaluation report submitted by the soil scientist. C, a floor plan of the home, residential outbuilding, and/or commercial project. D, a copy of any necessary recorded easements. And E, anything else deemed necessary by the Jefferson County Health Officer. Section D, professional standards. 1, all on-site sewage system installers, designers, evaluators, inspectors, and service providers providing services in Jefferson County shall abide by all associated requirements and state statutes, rules, in this ordinance regarding on-site sewage systems. 2, an individual must register with the Jefferson County Health Department if they provide on-site sewage system installation, including new installation, repair, replacement, alteration, or abandonment, design, evaluation, and/or service to property owners in Jefferson County, Indiana. Registration requires either A, applying to the Jefferson County Health Department for registration by completing the Jefferson County Health Department registration form, paying the appropriate registration fees as required in the Jefferson County Health Department fee schedule, providing proof of competency regarding the type of systems to be installed, designed, evaluated, inspected, or serviced as determined by the Jefferson County Health Officer, or B, providing proof of current valid registration in any other Indiana county, providing proof of certification from the IOWPA for the type of systems to be installed, designed, evaluated, or serviced, providing proof of membership in good standing with the IOWPA. Certification must be maintained throughout the period of registration. A lapse of certification will render the registration with Jefferson County Health Department invalid, and paying the appropriate registration fee as required in the Jefferson County Health Department fee schedule. Number 3, all registered installers, inspectors, and service providers must provide proof of liability insurance and bonding with a minimum value of $500,000 or sufficient to cover the cost of installing, inspecting, or providing service to any one system if more than the minimum bond requirement. Registration is valid from January 1 to December 31st of the same year and must be renewed annually. Renewal is subject to the registration requirements listed in this ordinance. A registered installer or service provider must be on site at all times during installation or services being provided. A designer must be registered with the Jefferson County Health Department in order to approve construction plan prior to submittal of the new plan for review by the Jefferson County Health Department. a lapse of registration and or certification for those registered in Jefferson County by proof of IOWPA certification or repeated violation of any statute, rules, or of this ordinance pertaining to on-site sewage systems may result in revocation or denial of renewal of a registration. An appeal of registration, revocation, or denial of registration renewal may be appealed to the Jefferson County Board of Health. The period of revocation shall be no less than 30 days or a time period deemed appropriate by the Jefferson County Health Officer. And the registered individuals shall be advised in writing for the basis of revocation and the right and procedure for appeal and the opportunity for a hearing. Section E, on-site soil evaluations. An on-site soil evaluation is required as described in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1 prior to permit issuance for all residential and commercial sites where a soil absorption field is to be installed, expanded, or replaced and as needed for repairs. A minimum of 3 soil borings and or soil pits or other standards as may be adopted in the future by the Indiana Department of Health are required to be evaluated in the area of the soil absorption field. The Jefferson County Health Department may request additional soil borings or soil pits if deemed necessary by the Jefferson County Health Officer. The on-site soil evaluation report created from the evaluation of the soil profile must be designed by the professional soil scientist and submitted directly to the Jefferson County Health Department by the soil scientist. Section F, recommended set aside areas. It is recommended that the new construction two areas on each lot must be evaluated by soil scientists for suitability for installation and on-site sewage system, and plans for the property include preservation of the set aside area. In the event that the system failure malfunction, the set aside area should remain undisturbed and available for installation of a replacement system. No residential on-site sewage system construction permit will be denied due to lack of suitable set-aside area alone. Section G, septic tank requirements. The minimum capacity of any tank installed in Jefferson County shall be 1,000 gallons. All septic tanks proposed for Jefferson County shall be listed on the current Indiana Department of Health list of approved manufactured septic tanks. All septic tank installation in Jefferson County shall have risers to final grade on both the inlet and outlet. The riser to final grade over the divider wall in the 2-compartment tank may be used in place of a riser to final grade over the inlet. A secondary child-proof plug shall be installed according to manufacturer's requirements under each lid with access to the surface. All septic tanks proposed for reuse with the replaced soil absorption field shall be tested and found to be watertight, have a riser extended to the final grade over the outlet access, and have outlet filter installed in the outlet end of the tank or in a separate secondary structure. Section H, sewage holding tank. A sewage holding tank is the alternative method of sewage disposal. Indiana Code 16-41-25-9. An application must be filed by the property owner or the property owner's agent, including an application form provided by the Jefferson County Health Department, a construction plan of sufficient clarity to show compliance with this ordinance, a copy of a written contract with the operator of a septage management vehicle providing the removal of septage at regular intervals, and a written statement signed by the property owner indicating that the copies of the receipts and all other records requested and to be submitted to the local health department via digital transmission or hard copies within 10 days of service. All sewage holding tanks shall have a minimum capacity of the greater 1,000 tanks or at least 2 times the design daily flow of the home or commercial structure as determined by Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, and have a capacity of no more than 10,000 gallons. A sewage holding tank shall meet all separation distance requirements for a septic tank in Rules 410 IAC 6-8.3 and 410 IAC 6-10.1. A sewage holding tank shall meet all construction requirements for septic tanks in Rules 410 IAC 6-8.3 and 410 IAC 6-10.1. A construction permit issued by the Jefferson County Health Department is required prior to the installation of the holding tank or gravity sewer. For sewage holding tanks that will serve facilities that are regulated by the Indiana Department of Health, campgrounds, youth camps, mobile home parks, agricultural labor camps, and medical facilities, written approval from the Indiana Department of Health shall be required prior to the issuance of the construction permit for sewage holding tank. A gravity sewer meeting the requirements for residential sewer in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or requirements for the building sewer in Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1 shall be issued to make direct connection between the plumbing of the structure with plumbing to the holding tank. All sewage tanks installed in Jefferson County shall have an installation inspection to confirm proper installation and confirm the outlet of the last tank has been appropriately sealed prior to backfilling, and an audible and visual alarm that will activate when the tank reaches a level not to exceed 2/3 of the tank's capacity. The alarm wired by an electrician and verified operational. All holding tanks shall be required to have an operating permit issued by the Jefferson County Health Department. The construction permit issued for installation of the holding tank shall also serve as the operating permit for the first 2 years of service. An operating permit for a sewage holding tank shall be valid for a period of 2 calendar years. An operating permit shall be renewed prior to and within 30 days of its expiration. An operating permit fee, as stated in the Jefferson County Health Department fee schedule, shall be due at the time of an operating permit renewal. All receipts from plumbing maintenance of sewage holding tanks and other documents for repair and modification of the sewage holding tank need to be submitted to the local health department within 10 days of service via digital transmission or hard copies provided to the Jefferson County Health Department. An operating permit or construction permit serving as an operating permit not renewed within 30 days of the expiration, or sewage holding tank not operated in safe or sanitary manner, including receipts and other paperwork not submitted as required, is a violation of this ordinance and may be subject to penalty as described in Section N of the ordinance. Permit revocation and or denial of permit renewal. Use of a sewage holding tank must be discontinued if a connection to the approved on-site sewage system becomes available to the owner, or connection to a sanitary sewer becomes available within 300 feet of the property line on which the sewage holding tank is being used. Upon connection to the on-site sewage system or sanitary sewer, the sewage holding tank shall be abandoned unless it is or will be converted to a septic tank or dosing tank on-site sewage system. Section I, distribution boxes. All distribution boxes installed in any residential or commercial on-site sewage system in Jefferson County shall have a riser that extends to final grade. The lid to the box or riser must be safely secured to prevent accidental entry. All distribution boxes shall be stabilized so as to prevent movement during installation and operation. All distribution boxes must have a baffle consisting of a sanitary T in the vertical position, at least the same diameter as the effluent sewer or effluent force main entering the box. The sanitary T must extend within 2 inches of the bottom of the box, and there must be at least 1 inch head clearance between the top of the teal and the interior bottom of the lid. Section J, sand-lined system sizing. The use of sand-lined system technologies approved by the Indiana Department of Health is permitted within Jefferson County. The required square footage of the absorption area of any sand-lined system in Jefferson County shall be based upon the soil loading rates in tables 4 and 5 in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3, or Table 5 and Table 6 in Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1. In cases where best judgment of the Jefferson County Health Department is necessary and approved, consideration will be given to sizing of the sand-lined system absorption area based upon the appropriate Indiana Design and Installation Manual as approved by the Indiana Department of Health. Section K, construction and final inspection. A permit for the installation, construction, reconnection, replacement, alteration, or repair of an on-site sewage system shall not constitute final approval of such system until the same is completed to the satisfaction of the Jefferson County Health Officer or the health officer's duly appointed representative. The property owner or agent of the property owner shall notify Jefferson County Health Officer before the start of construction or installation of any component of the on-site sewage system. The Jefferson County Health Officer may inspect the work at any stage of the construction. The property owner or agent of the property owner shall give written notification to the Jefferson County Health Officer for final inspection of the on-site sewage system at least 5 business days prior to covering any component of the on-site sewage system not previously inspected and approved. The issuance of the construction permit shall serve as due notice to the property owner that the Jefferson County Health Officer, bearing proper credentials and identification, shall be permitted to enter upon the property on which the on-site sewage system is being installed at reasonable times for the purpose of inspections, observations, measurements, sampling, and testing necessary to complete construction and final inspection. Section L, connection or reconnection of an existing on-site sewage system. An existing residential or commercial on-site sewage system may be considered for reconnection to a new or replacement dwelling, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility if A, either the original system installation was permitted through the Jefferson County Health Department, or the original system was not permitted through the Jefferson County Health Department, but a registered individual develops a plan of the site and system showing compliance with the rules and this ordinance, and B, the existing system is appropriately sized for the structure to be served. If the connection or reconnection is due to involuntary events, the Jefferson County Health Department may utilize their best judgment for system sizing when approving a connection or reconnection of an existing system. If the connection or reconnection is due to voluntary events, the system being connected to must meet the requirements of the appropriate rule unless the site meets the requirements of the definition of repair or replacement construction in this ordinance. A construction permit for connection or reconnection to an existing on-site sewage system shall be obtained prior to the start of the construction of the structure to be served by the residential or commercial on-site sewage system. Section M, enforcement. Whenever the health officer determines there are reasonable grounds to believe that there has been a violation of this ordinance, Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, The Jefferson County Health Officer shall issue a notice of violation to the person or persons responsible as hereafter provided. Such notice shall indicate the date and location of the violation, clearly indicate the nature of the violation and the related ordinance, statute, and or rule citation, allow a reasonable time for the performance of necessary remediation, be properly served upon the person responsible. Proper service shall include any of the following: sent to the person directly via first-class mail, sent by certified mail to the last known mailing address of the person, posted in a conspicuous place in or about the property affected by the notice, or other method of service authorized or required under the laws of the state. After receiving notice in writing from the Jefferson County Health Officer, the owner of the property shall comply with the provisions of this ordinance and or rule as set forth in said order and within the same time limit specified therein. Said notice shall be served on the owner, but may be served on any person who by contract with the owner has assumed the duty of complying with the provisions of a notice. Failure to comply with such notice shall constitute a violation of this ordinance, and the violator shall be subject to the penalties as prescribed in section N of this ordinance. The health officer may compel an immediate stop work order for work completed in progress or plan which is in violation of any provisions of this ordinance. Such stop work order shall be posted at the construction site and confirmed by written notice to the owner or occupant of the premises and any person engaged in the performance of said work or any person causing such work to be performed, and result in the immediate suspension of all work at the work site. Failure to comply with such stop work order shall constitute a violation of this ordinance, and the violator shall be subject to the penalties prescribed in section N of this ordinance. Whenever the Jefferson County Health Officer finds that an emergency exists which requires immediate action to protect public health, the Jefferson County Health Officer may, without notice or hearing, issue an emergency order declaring the existence of such an emergency and require that action be taken as the health officer deems necessary. Notwithstanding the other provisions of this ordinance, Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3, Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, and Bulletin SE 11, such orders shall be effective immediately. Any person to whom such an emergency order is directed shall comply therewith immediately, but upon petition to the Jefferson County Health Officer shall be afforded a hearing as soon as possible in the manner provided in Section O. Section N, penalties. Any person, firm, or entity found to be in violation of any provision of the ordinance and or rule shall be fined not more than $2,500. Each day after the expiration of the time limit for abating the unsanitary conditions and completing improvements to abate such conditions as ordered by the Jefferson County Health Department shall constitute a distinct and separate offense. The Jefferson County Health Department shall also be entitled to seek any other legal remedy available against a person who shall violate the provision of this ordinance and or rule. The Jefferson County Health Department shall be entitled to seek all legal fees incurred during the enforcement of this ordinance and or rule. The penalties provided in the section shall be cumulative and not excessive, and shall be in addition to any other remedy provided by law. Section O, procedure for appeal. Appeals may be filed within the Jefferson County Board of Health for any of the following decisions or actions taken by the Jefferson County Health Officer. A, denial of permit to install, construct, reconnect, replace, alter, repair an on-site sewage system, holding tank, or sanitary vault for the reconnection of a permit. The issuance of a notice of violation or stop work order or an emergency order as prescribed in Section M of this ordinance. Registration, revocation, and or duration of revocation, or denial of registration renewal as prescribed as section D, or a penalty as prescribed in section N. Any persons filing such appeal shall be granted a hearing on the matter before the Jefferson County Board of Health. The request shall be in writing, received at the office of the Jefferson County Health Department within 10 calendar days of the receipt of the notice. If a request for a hearing is not received within 10 days, the decision or action shall stand. Such request shall briefly state the reasons for the requested hearing. Upon the receipt of the request, the Jefferson County Health Department shall arrange a time and a place for such hearing and shall give the petitioner written notice thereof. Such hearings shall be held as soon as practical after receipt. For the request in compliance with Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-5, open door law. At such hearing, the petitioner shall be given the opportunity to be heard and to show evidence as to why such decision or action should be modified or withdrawn. Additionally, the health officer shall be given the time to explain the circumstances of the decision and or action. The proceedings at such hearing, including the findings and decision of the Jefferson County Board of Health, shall be summarized in the minutes of the hearing and entered as a matter of public record in the office of the Jefferson County Health Department. In addition, all pertinent information, including but not limited to permit application, written correspondence, shall be included in the public record. Any person may seek relief thereof from any court jurisdiction as provided by the law of the state. Section P, remedies. Upon refusal or neglect of any person to correct an unlawful, unsanitary condition, when the abatement of the condition has been ordered in writing by the health officer, or appeal against the decision and or action has been sustained by the Board of Health, the health officer may, through the office of the Jefferson County Attorney or attorney representing the health department, institute proceedings in the judicial court district wherein the offense occurs for enforcement by prohibiting mandatory injunction to restrain any person from violating the provisions of this ordinance. Section Q, fee schedule. All applicable fees as set forth in the Jefferson County Health Department fee schedule and any abatements or revisions hereafter shall be made payable to the Jefferson County Health Department. Section R, conflict of ordinance or severability. In any case where provision of this ordinance is found to be a conflict with the provision of any code of Jefferson County, Indiana existing in the effective date of this ordinance, the provision which establishes the higher standard for promotion and protection of health and safety of the people shall prevail. In any case where the provision of any other code in Jefferson County, Indiana existing on the effective date of this ordinance, which establishes a lower standard for the promotion and protection of health and safety for the people, are hereby declared to be repealed. In the extent that they may be found in conflict with this ordinance. If any section, subsection, paragraph, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance should be declared invalid for any reason whatsoever, such decision shall not affect the remaining portions of this ordinance, which shall remain in full force and effect, and to the end of the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable.
Music to it.
That's our second time today.
Is that come down from the state?
So this came down from the state, yeah. In July 1st, IDOH, it was a little higher than them. But IDOH passed the word along that legislators wanted us to redo our ordinance. So they voided ordinances across the state, everyone's. So we were operating off of Indiana code. This, this change was so that health departments could not be more strict than Indiana code. So after it's approved by commissioners, it actually has to get approved by a technical review panel that's put together by IDOH, and it consists of people from IDOH, local health departments, and some, I think IOPA has a member on there, and there's a couple other individuals as well that review it to make sure that it's not, that any parts of it aren't more strict, and if they are, they have to be justified. So what we did was took the template that they had given us, changed some things that were not part of Indiana code. Some stuff about the certifications and installers. They basically wanted everyone to be IOPA certified, but it's not part of code, so we took that out. We don't feel like that's necessary. We have a lot of good installers here that aren't IOPA certified, and we don't feel like that hinders their ability to install. So that's just one example of what we changed, but we definitely did not go above code. Actually, the model we received was above code. So, we also used the ordinance that was from 2013 and scoped some of the stuff out of that we saw that was not in here. The verbiage came from that one. It also does not conflict with Indiana code, and it was reviewed by Pat McGrath.
Looks to me like they missed one thing in here. It lists minimum 10,000, 1,000 gallon tank, no more than 10,000. It doesn't say anything about your lateral lines. I thought there was a code and a footage on there. It used to be 425 many, many years ago. I think it's
Right.
6 now. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Why it was not in there, but I will.
It's probably because of some lots aren't big enough to put, I
Right,
don't know,
like Hanover
but
Beach.
you gotta have some.
There's some stuff where,
I just think it needs to be clarified so that somebody can say, well, it doesn't say a word in here, I'm only gonna put 100. I mean, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sure it'll be
it
brought
does
up.
say that it has to meet codes and requirements, but yes, I'll see why that's not in there.
I'd be curious to know what they are, wouldn't you now? Okay,
I had them in my head at one point, but there's
I
lots of
thought it was
numbers in there
600
that-
for some reason, current code. Anyway, be nice to know.
Did you play that again? I thought I heard lateral lines in there about the 10-minute mark.
No.
No, you did, you did.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Listen to that stuff, 'cause you're on and stuff, it's just
I kept, where it listed all that other, I thought, okay, here we're gonna get into it. You know,
There's really, honestly, this isn't a way to sneak any new things in. They're really, it's pretty much the same way it's operating currently. It's just had to get rewritten.
And if we didn't, we could lose some grants. Right?
No, this is separate from any of our grant stuff. We would just have to sit through this again.
Technically, we have to do it one more.
Yeah. Do it.
But- No, the worst that's gonna happen is they'll be like, sorry about you. Gotta do it again. And unfortunately, it's not something that we can send to the review panel first. Because everyone across this whole state, all the local health departments, said, why can't we just get it approved first? Before we have to sit through a reading. But their thought process for the technical review panel was that if we had the weight of having the backing and support from the commissioners shows the intent of the county and so it gives it extra weight if something were to be more strict than Indiana code.
Okay.
In the meantime, if you guys have any questions that you wanna send me, we'll come back with answers. The next meeting.
Anything else? After that, how can you have any? Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys did a great job.
Very nice, breaking it up 3 ways.
We don't have anything else. I make a motion to adjourn, gentlemen.
Well, I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening.